Someone you know is getting fired. I don't like this one bit, but it has to be the case. And I'll tell you why. Be it you want it or you don't care, but it has to be the case. Sometimes the best example that I have with what I'm saying right now is when it comes to issues like praying against our enemies. I do see some of you in the comment sections at times, you'll be like, I don't wish my enemies wicked. All these things, right? Which is good, no problem. But that's why they say the longer you live, the more you learn, the more you see, the more your eyes get opened. And day by day, honestly speaking, because I am observing, I am a man of God. So I do see, and I do think, and I do realize, I do make, and I do add up things, and I do conclude. Let me assure you that the problem, it is not with us wanting to pray against the wicked, our enemies, someone. I have a story where I was at school when someone in authority did not like me. It got to that point where I realized that after I finished the degree that I was doing, as much as I wanted to do more further up my studies, that person, it was gonna be very, very difficult because of that person. You get what I mean? So I knew that if that person could change their mind and come against me, what more could I do? They could sabotage my academics. And when I thought that was small, oh my God. But I just thank the Lord because on my side, that person was never biased or unfair. They did mark my things correctly, and that was it. But the reality is, I knew that at that school, things were never gonna be smooth, even if I wanted to do more. I remember someone that I know was also complaining when one time they were given a job. They just even took everything, even the fingerprints, to show that it's a done deal. You have gotten the job. But then they learned that those people no longer took that person. And that is when the person, whenever they talk about it, they were like, it's because there was this other person in there, working there at the same place, who has a problem with me. And this person is the one that bad-mouthed me. And as a result, I never got appointed. At times, you are promised a position, a done deal. But then in the last minute, somebody just comes in. They are given that position. I know also that situation where I knew that this was meant to be mine, but somebody else. Sometimes I would see it when I was an academic. There will be those students who are just by default favored by the supervisor. They don't have to apply if there is a temporary post or a job. They are just given like that. The rest of you apply, try somewhere else. They don't care, but there are those that they want to keep. And out of favor. Not anything else. Not you all apply, you do an interview, but because they are favored. And it means for the rest of you, anything can happen. Some, these things, they bribe. Let me tell you that it was unsafe for Jesus to live, whereas Herod was seeking his life. And an effort had to be put. An effort had to be placed. And they had to take him to Egypt to hide. You get what I mean? It was no longer safe until the death of Herod, and God called him out of Egypt. Let me tell you that sometimes you are not at a place that you're supposed to, not because you are not meant to be there, but because there is somebody that wants to put you down. Because there is somebody that is standing in your way. And until they get out of the way, you can never prosper. That is why tomorrow you wake up, you see some people, you hear that they are fired. You hear some people, maybe they are dead. You hear some people, maybe something tragic happened, and you feel like, oh, what an unfortunate. Listen, it was so that you can be in that place. They were standing in your way. And as long as they were there, you could never live there. You could never progress. And listen, you are not the result of their demise. They are consumed by their own wickedness, their own evil. Listen, even if you can decide right now, let's just, for a moment as I'm speaking right now, erase every possible thing that they did you this, that's why they must die, that's why they must suffer. What is the consequence of sin? Biblically, death, suffering. Like Job, it was so easy for them to equate his sufferings with sin. No ways. You have sinned. There is no way that if you were good or you were right with the Lord, these bad things will be happening to you. Let me tell you, that is it. Those people, they've been doing wicked. Those people, they've been wicked, and every wicked action has a consequence. That is why finally it just caught up to them. Their sins caught up to them. That is why at times you just sit down and then you try what you could not. It works because that person in authority that was there, who had vowed that as long as they are still in control, you won't get access, you won't get through, they have been removed.